it's Jill with Angel Creations. Welcome back to my craft room. We're gonna have some fun today. Okay, we're making some warm little mittens. We are going to be using, they're going to be cute farmhouse little mittens too. Okay, so we're going to be using one of these, what do they call this? A duster mop, microfiber duster mop. Everything is from the DollarTree. As far as I know, everything is from the DollarTree here. Okay, so we're going to be using one of those. Then we are going to be using these beautiful, it doesn't show up on camera, at least at my end. They're beautiful turquoise blue and silver stick-on tiles, but I want to show you they have a variety. I don't even have all of them, but you know, just for a quick eyes view, there's like so many that you can choose from. And like I said, there's some right now that have some really pretty colors on them, but we're going to be making little mittens out of ours. And so you don't have to choose the same pattern, but I am using this beautiful blue. All I did was create a pattern using my own hand for a mitten on a piece of cardboard. So we're going to be using two of those stick-on tiles. We're going to be using one of these cake decorating whatever this is called, cardboard, and you on yours it's going to be white on the back. You want to take that paper white backing off, because we're going to want the raw cardboard for our mittens to stick to. Now if you don't find this, you can use at first I was going to use foam board, but I don't have any foam board. I can't believe it either. I always have white and black foam board in my craft room, and I don't know, I can't find it. So I'm using this today, but it had another shiny side and I wanted that off. So I'm using this cake decorating, which will give our mittens a nice little company. I don't know, they're both silver, I don't know. And then we're going to be using one of these, what size is this? 11 by 14 canvases from the Crafter's Square, a black tag from Crafter's Square, and one of their metallic markers in white. So the first thing we are going to do is get painting. I'm going to paint my canvas black. If you don't want to do yours black, you can do it any color you want. I'm going with black. I just feel like it's more farmhouse. I think of black as neutral. So I want it to kind of look like a chalkboard. I want my black tag to kind of match it. And boy, they don't want me to get this plastic off of here. All right. So we're just going to open our canvas, and this is one of the flat canvases. This doesn't have the wood frame. Government plastic. Did you ever hear Ellen DeGeneres do a thing about government plastic and how just anyway, it's funny. I'm not here to tell jokes. I wish I had some. Alright, so I'm going to paint this in, I think I'm just going to, I can't reach my other paint, so I guess I will have to do it in the ink. So I am just going to give this a quick painting with black ink from, you can see my straw here, from my Waverly chalk paint. Grab yourself a nice cold drink while we're at it. And so next time you see me, this will be all black. Okay, now that my canvas is all black, I'm going to just stick this behind me for a moment. And we are going to work on our mittens here. So I'm going to flip my cake board over. And actually, first of all, yeah, it doesn't matter which one we do first. I have to cut this out. I drew my mittens from my pattern right here. I drew my mittens and I did a left and a right, but I did it backwards like this because I want to be able to cut up. The hardest part is the middle of your board, so I wanted to be able to cut up pretty straight there and not have to do two thumbs in the middle. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but just cut out a left and a right mitten out of your either foam board or your cake board. So this is probably going to be a little hard on the arthritis, but I might have to come back in with an X-Acto knife. But I'm going to cut this out. It's not actually that hard. It's bulky. It's in my way, you know. So let's get some of that off. And when I have my two mittens all cut out, I will be right back. I'm just going to keep on cutting. This isn't really that hard, believe it or not. Foam board, though, might be a little more challenging. You probably will have to do that with a craft knife. But this is just pretty much cardboard, so it's not that hard. But I will be right back. Okay, so then you're going to have a pretty rough edge, right? Because you're cutting through cardboard. So I'm just going to clean up my edges just a little bit. They're not really going to show. We are going to, it's just mostly because I know it's a mess there, so I'm just cleaning up my edges. And I do want to tell you that my second one came out a little bit better than my first because, well, my first one started okay, but by the time I got to the end, my hands were pretty sore. So I'm just trying to make sure that these are the same. And yeah, so I was pretty sore, and I think I forgot this whole side over here. Let me get this. And what I realized that worked really well, I forgot this whole side, was this DollarTree roller. I ended up rolling it right here on my table, and it worked great. So if you're having a hard time cutting it, feel free to, look, I totally forgot to cut the whole mitten here. Alright, so those are pretty good. Those are pretty good. I just want to make sure there's a definition space between my thumb and mitten here, though. We want to make sure that shows on both. Yeah. Alright, now I have two mittens, a left and a right. I'll keep my pattern, and we will clean up this mess here. And I already cut out one of my stick-on tiles, and I want that on the cardboard side. Whoops, must be this one. So I might have to re-trim or sand or whatever, but I am going to draw out my second one here on the back, and then I am going to just cut that one out. Where's my pencil? And then I'll have two mittens going the opposite way. I'm cutting a little tiny bit above the line. You know what I mean? Outside the line, because we can sand or trim after. I just want to make sure it really is going to fit my mitten, even though I just drew my mitten. I like to have a little overhang. We can get rid of that easy enough. Alright. And we have two mittens. Now we're going to stick them right on. They are peel and stick. Let me get this thing hanging off of over here. OCD. Okay, so we're going to just peel and stick our little mittens right on. I like to do mine upside down. Making sure that I have the top of the mitten good, because the bottom of the mitten is not going to show as much. So I will have to trim it a little because my mitten shape went a little off here. Okay. So grab a spatula or anything that you can. This is a DollarTree cake spatula, and we're just going to rub that down, make sure there's no wrinkles anywhere. Trim it off just a little bit. Alright, so it's nice and neat. Now there's our mitten. Well, not yet, it's not finished yet. So let's put this one on. Do the same thing. Peel and stick. I love these. Love, love, love these. And I just thought they made such a pretty mitten for Christmas or for just winter. Where's my spatula? That couldn't resist. But they do have plenty of patterns. So whatever matches your decor, get that one. If you have copper and you're going to be hanging this in your kitchen, do copper. If you have all different colors in your bathroom and you're going to hang it there, they have a really adorable stick-on tile right now at the Dollar Tree that has all the primary colors. It's really, really, actually it reminds me of Switzerland a little bit. Pretty colors. All right, again, just neatening up my mitten. We are going to outline this mitten, and that's why I'm really trying to make sure it has definition between the thumb, which is kind of hard to do, I'm finding, because we're going to put that copper, I usually call it burlap tubing because I usually work with the burlap. They call it mesh tubing, and I got it in the white. And it's out right now for Christmas in the red, green, and this white iridescent. It's kind of iridescent, but mostly silver and white. We're going to outline these mittens with that. So, let's open this baby up, because I don't like the raw edge. Now, if you don't want to do this step and you used foam board, by all means, you don't have to do this. You can paint your edge, whatever you want to do. I need these little scissors. These little tiny scissors from the Dollar Tree are amazing. Except for mine have something stuck to them right now. Whatever I did last with them. So yeah, I mean, I could trim and trim and trim. I do want to take a little bit more of this bulk off. And then we're just going to hot glue all the way around. I'm going to put some parchment paper down because we're going to get hot glue on the table. Turn that over. You know, for time's sake, I want to go around and do a little more trimming, and I don't want to bore you with that. So I will be right back. Okay, sorry, that's just me. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes. I just didn't like what I was seeing, and I just didn't want to take any more time from you guys. Okay, so now we have our two mittens, and we are going to outline our mittens with this mesh tubing. So I'm just going to start, and I'm going to just try to do it on the edge versus on top. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get the edge covered. So that it might be a little tricky, but we're going to definitely go for it. I'm going to give mine a little bit. I don't think I'm going to use that bottom. I'm going to start where my tile starts. And I am just going to go a little bit, like one whole trigger full. And then I'm going to just fold and stick. Trying to get that on the edge, but also on the front. I'm outlining it. There we go. Outlining it. And I'm going to put it down flat now that it's started. And I'm going to work with the flat surface. So I'm going to go ahead and give it more glue. I'm missing a little, so I had to go back. And now I'm going to put it down flat, and I'm just going to fold it around and glue it on. Should have used wax paper instead. Okay, but this will be fine. Alright, so now it's going to start getting tricky once we get down between the finger and the mitten. We're not there yet, but the reason I picked this, well, I loved this with this whole silver and blue theme anyway, silver and white. But the best thing about this the mesh tubing is you can squeeze it skinny. So when we get down here in the crack of our mitten, where our thumb and our mitten meet, we can pinch it and just kind of stick it in there. And just hold that down for a minute. And then I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. What I'm talking about. Okay, let me just finish going down, and then I'll hold this up and you can see it. I know you can see what I'm doing anyway, but I want to give you a up close and personal oh boy, I made a mess. Oh boy, I made a big glue mess. It's alright. We're used to that. Okay, now let me snip this because it looks bad here. My little glue glob here. I'm hoping you can see when you get to that little V in the mitten and the thumb, you can just fold this over and squeeze it. It goes flat. So now I'm just going to finish my piece and cut this off. And I'm going longer on this side than I went on that side, but that's not going to show because we are going to be putting this mop head on here. So I'm going to put this one aside. This is what we have so far. Little mitten, so cute. I'm going to put this back here, and then I'm going to do the second one exactly like that off camera for time's sake. Be right back. Okay, we have our two little mittens stuck to our paper. Here is our little mitten so far. What do I have stuck to me there? that's what we have so far. Aren't they adorable? And the back matches them. Not that you're going to see the back, but if you didn't have something to put them on and you just strung them, they would be cute like that. All right, now we have to put some fuzz on the cuff. So what we have here is a Dollar Tree mop head, and we are going to get this tag off because I have to show you. Actually, I don't care if that plastic thing is in here. I have to show you when we separate the mop head in the back. There's 3 sections. There may be 4. I haven't really counted. It looks like 3. But 1, yeah, this. Anyways, when you fold this in, you will see one of those sections open up. See, there's nothing here. So all the way down, you're gonna cut in between on the cotton. Am I showing you? It's really hard to show you. Let me stand up. It kind of parts. Find it again. Here you go. It parts, and where it parts, right here, you want to cut right there, because if you cut here or anywhere other than where it parts, you're going to lose all this fuzzy. So we got to cut all the way down. And we want to cut 2 strips of that. And I probably made it sound harder than it really is. So you got to go to the beginning and find where it starts so that you can start cutting there. And once you have it in your own hand, you'll see what I'm doing. And you'll see how easy and what this I'm talking about. Makes it a lot easier. It's gonna shred at the beginning because it goes around. Sometimes once you find it, it's easier to just flip it to the back and cut it right up your seam here. So you need 2 of these, of course. I'm just going to, I have like the dullest scissors in my craft room for this. Alright, so there's 1 strip. I'm going to shake that out a little bit over my trash can. And I'm going to go up and cut the next one right up the side as well. With some sharper scissors, hopefully this time. Right up the back. It's kind of like we do our fur when we cut fur for a gnome. And I'm going to shake that off a little bit. And now we have our 2. This one's a mess. And now we have our 2 fluffy tops for our mittens. Get rid of all this fuzzy. What a mess I am making. Alright. I think I might have to clean this craft room today. Alright, now we're going to just hot glue our fuzzies right onto our mitt. So I'm going to take the first one, and we probably didn't even need 2 of these, but I am going to take the first one and measure the material on the back. I'm going to do that while I'm here twice because I'm just going to use the one I have here. You don't need to cut that twice. Alright, shake it off, shake it off. Now we're just going to hot glue, which we need a glue stick for. Almost. Alright, so I'm going to give this a lot of glue. We don't want our fuzzies going anywhere. So we're going to give it a heap ton. Now we need a glue stick. A heap ton, making sure we cover all of our edges, all of that. And then we're just going to lay that right down on our mitten and hold it. And we'll do the same thing to this one. Heap ton of glue, a little trimming here. And I'm gluing right over my mesh foam, all of it. The wood, the cardboard, the tile, the tubing. I'm putting glue on all of it. And then I'm just going to put this mitten down and hold. Look at this mitten. Is that adorable or what? The only thing is we have to trim off on the back because we will have a mess. So we want this hanging over a little bit like it is. But what we have to do first here is we have to take a little Mod Podge, doesn't matter if it's satin, flat, whatever, and we're gonna, oh, this one's not open. We're gonna paint a little bit of Mod Podge onto our fuzz on the back, and then we will cut this off. We want this to be kind of stiff in the back on the sides here. You're going to get a whole bunch of shred, and that's what we're trying to avoid once we cut this. So by putting a little bit of Mod Podge on, it's going to make it stiff and stay put. And then we can trim it. Okay? So don't mind if you lose a little bit of the edges while you're doing this. You're gonna lose a little bit, but this is to protect us from losing any more. Just seals it in so that we can go back later. And you can see I'm dripping it onto my paintbrush and just using it that way. So you're just sealing in this little fringe that is on our material. I hope that makes sense. That's all we're doing. That's not helping this stay here or anything. And you don't have to do the tops. We're going to come back and trim this up nicely. We're just doing the edges, making sure that our edges will keep their fuzziness. All right. Put a little on there. It's just so delicate right there. I don't want it to all come off. All right, so now we're going to put these aside for a minute, and I am going to attempt to make a tag. I have the worst writing. I don't like my writing, I should say. So we have a Crafter's Square white metallic pen and a Crafter's Square black chalkboard tag. And I want to write, baby, it's cold outside. So let's see how many attempts I will have to do with this. All right, let's just try it. I'm going to write outside first because I need that's the biggest word. So I'll know for, you know, spacing, I guess. Baby, it's cold outside. I'm going over it twice so it shows up darker. Now you can write winter wishes or welcome or warm wishes. Alright, so this is not the best tag, but that's okay. I'm going to go around and make some stitching. Because it's mittens. And then we will put our mittens on our board. Okay, where'd my cover go? On the top. Okay, so here's my tag. Kind of dumb, but you guys can do a much better tag. Just says, baby, it's cold outside. Now, let's get our surface back here, and before I go any further, I'm going to take a piece of jute out of my drawer, and I'm going to make a hanger on the back. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to hot glue a piece of string tightly at the top of my board. So I don't really have like a measurement to know if this is in the middle or not, but I'm just going to put a piece of tape down on top. But I do know by doing it this way, if it's not the middle, you can slide it back and forth, holding that tight and then gluing that down. Just like that. And now I want to put my mittens on my, oh wait, we have to trim off our, we have to trim our mittens. It's probably still wet, but it's okay, wet. So there's one mitten. Just giving them a little haircut. We still want them fuzzy and hanging over our mittens. Alright. And there's our other mitten. I love these mittens just as they are. Okay, so now we want to put our mittens on our little, make sure that it fits and get all the little cobwebbies off. Cobwebbies. Okay. I'm going to make them so that they fit nicely. And then when I'm happy with the placement, I'm just going to commit and glue them down. So I'm happy. I'm going to just take this and glue it down. Just like that. I'm going to get another glue stick ready. And do the same thing on this side. And I don't care if they're the same or one's above the other. It doesn't matter to me. I just want them both to fit on my board. I'm giving a good amount of glue. Flip it over. And that looks like a good little placement. Now we are going to put a little bit of greenery at the top here, and that's where our mitten tag is going to hang from. But look how cute these are. Oh my gosh, we didn't put any antique Waverly wax on them, but that is okay. It would have made it a little more farmhousey, but it's all right. I don't hate it this way. All right, so now I have some greeneries from the Dollar Tree. So let's cut up just a couple of these sprigs. We have a couple with berries. They might pull off. Yeah, they pull off. And we have a couple of these, I don't know, ivy. What is this called? Holly. It's holly berry. All right, and then I want a couple of these. These are holly also, but I like these big fat, I'm gonna call them a pine sprig. I want those going each direction. So I'm just gonna cut those silly ends off. And then I'm hoping that you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna take this and just start gluing these right to the top. Placement first. And glue the other one. These are plastic, and so you gotta hold them for a minute because I feel like they almost melt. I do have my heat gun on hot. I just never really seem to think to change it, but sometimes I have to hold it a little longer than I think you should because these plastic pieces, they just need a lot of reassuring that you're gonna want them there. So we're gonna hold that down for a moment. Baby, it's cold outside. And then I'm gonna stick at least one of these holly. I'm gonna cut off the nub back here though. It's sticking out a little too much for my liking. I'm gonna glue that right down in the center of these two little pine boughs. Get my finger protector. And then I'm going to put a couple of red berries and a couple of white berries. Just sticking down in here somewhere. And the same on the other side. Keep a ton of glue. Make sure it grabs onto something. Get that finger protector. Hold that down. This is adorable. Love these mittens. I love these mittens. I am going to put a berry or two in the front here, but I am going to take a couple of these white berries here first. Stick those down because they're just too cute. Gotta have a little bit of white berries on here. Put another little white berry sticking up here. Oh my goodness, stuck to the glue gun there. Guess we can only do one at a time here. Let's get that stuck there first. When I went to put my other one on, it's the first one stuck right to the hot glue gun. Put this behind. Let's just hold all that down there for a minute, shall we? This needs a minute. It needs a minute. All right, now, you know what would be cute is a bow, but I think we're gonna make a little bow with this just to tie it all in. That will be cute. And then we'll glue our little red berry. I'm going to take a couple of these berries right off their stick. And I'm going to attach my Baby It's Cold Outside underneath. I'm gonna put my little berries that I just took off the stick. I'm just gonna hide this glue mess in the middle with another glue mess. I need one more here. Or actually, do I have any more white ones? No. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, that's all right. That's good. Because we're gonna make a shoelace bow using our mesh tubing. Let's just get the right size. Maybe we'll do 2. Let's try it doubled. That would be cuter. We'll do that doubled. Alright, let's take another piece to tie it in the middle and have some tails. We'll just hold that, wrap it around a couple times, tie her down in the middle. Get my finger out. Make sure our loops are the same on each side before I pull it too tight. And then I'll double knot it because I like my loops on both sides. And then we're just going to give this a haircut with these little tails all over the place. So let's just cut that one to match that one. And the same with these two. Now they all match each other pretty. We got a cute little bow here. And we're going to glue that right on here. I think I do want this other berry. Oh, you know what? Let's just put our bow on and then maybe we'll put a bell. A little bell on our mittens. So let's put our little bow, and I got some bells here. Let's find a bell. You could use a pine cone or a bell, or I kind of wish I had a bigger bell at the moment, but that's all right. So we're just going to use one of these little silver bells. Maybe 2. I'm going to put one right here. How cute is that? And now I need another little silver bell. I'm so enjoying this craft, you guys. I hope you are too. I could go on and embellish this all day long. I'm telling you. Let me get the cobwebbies off and show you how adorable this is coming out. I love it. It's all done. It's all done. We just have to get these stupid cobwebbies off. And I don't know, maybe we should hang, like our tag is not fixed. Maybe we should secure our tag, or maybe we should just leave it. Let's get all these cobwebbies. This is the back. We love the back. We can hang it. And then this is the front. How cute is that? How cute is that? And this doesn't have to say Christmas at all. It just says, baby, it's cold outside. This can be attached if you want. It can just hang, and you can keep this decor up all year long. It's not cold outside here in Florida, but I'm a New Englander. I was born and raised in New England, and I know that it's cold. And when it's cold, it's cold. It's so cold, it hurts. I think they're having an Indian summer, if I'm not mistaken right now. They're up there in the 70s, so that's awesome. We really, really are happy for them because they don't get many of those days. They have to appreciate them when they get them. All right, everybody, if you are in the colder weather, this is for you too. And if you're down here in the south with me, we can just imagine the cold. We don't need mittens, thank you, Lord. All right, everybody, this is a great time for you to give me a thumbs up. Sharing is caring, and this is a great little craft to share with your friends, family, and social media. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's free to do so, and it really helps my channel grow. All right, everybody, until we see each other again, be good and do good. Bye now.